here I am at the loom. I don't use a stand. I like to put this on my belly because I feel like if you have a belly, you might as well use it. I like that it holds it more stable. So if I really want to press hard, I really, really can. I've just never used a stand. So I have already got my loom all worked up. I've done a few inches of the pattern already. And we're going to go through a sequence. And I'm going to show you the different lifts that you need to do. You need a total of four shed options when you're doing this double weave. And then you repeat those 4 shed options with your different color of yarn. So for the sake of ease, I'm going to call this cotton, I'm going to call this wool. We're not going to worry so much about your colors because your colors will be different. My wool is always on the outside edges, and my cotton selvage rests on the inside of that. You actually have 2 different selvages when you weave with deflected double weave. This is going to be the selvage for the wool fabric. This is going to be the selvage for the cotton fabric. So right now I have my cotton Heddle, my shuttle? Yeah, Heddle, shuttle. Right now I have my cotton shuttle resting on the top. I've already done a sequence with the cotton, I just finished that. And this is the one part that does get a little tricky, is you have to make sure that that selvage doesn't have to skip a couple inches and just like lay there free and snagging. So we're going to go through how you prevent that. But you could either have your shuttle below the selvage or above the selvage. So right now we're going to start with it above. So these are what I'm using for pickup sticks. I'm using knitting needles because they are narrow. They've got pointy ends that could pick up my threads that I need very easily. I am doing something that I saw on, it was a village, and they were making these very complex pickup patterns in their weaving. And what they did was they actually put in all of the sequences of the pickup sticks all at once. So there were like 20 pickup sticks. And as the weaver went through, she would just pull one out, pull one out, pull one out, then stop, reset all the sticks at once. And it just seemed to help to keep a flow. So that's the same principle. You need to have 3 different lift sequences when we do this wool weft. And so this way, instead of stopping to reset my pickup sticks, I can just pull one out, weave 8 more picks, pull one out, weave 8 more picks, pull one out. I have this already set up with my pickup sticks, my pickup needles, and I will show you how we're going to put these in on the next sequence. So that we see the weaving, you're going to see the pickup sticks, how we set them in, and then we're going to go through the next sequence with the cotton. I'm going to go ahead and start with my merino wool. I have kind of a couple of inches, and I'm skipping over because I'm going to start my weaving on top of my cotton weaving. And that's going to be okay. This is part of deflected double weave, is that you are going to have areas that are unwoven. They will sort of meld together a little bit when they're wet finished, but it's just sort of a character of the cloth. So I'm going to start my first set of 8 wefts, right? 8 picks. So starting with my first set of 8, this set of 8 is being woven below the cloth. I'm weaving it on the bottom. So I need to take these wool warps and I need to alternate them, on the bottom. So I'm doing 1 down like that. So if I move my first petal down a picking up my stick and I'm going to pass it through, and this is what I want to see is I'm going through 1/2 of the warp threads of the wool. My cotton threads are all just sitting on top, just like that. I'm not weaving them, I'm not touching them. I am only doing the wool right now. So this one you kind of have to beat it a little gently because it's the first pick and you don't want to crush it down too far. You'll see when you do it, it's a little confusing because you're skipping this huge space right here. Like you're basically making a gap in your weaving. So that was my first pick. Yay! And I'm just letting this edge kind of meet up with my selvage edge right there. And it's going to hang a little bit loose. I'm not going to pull it too tight. Now I'm trying to think, I need to get the slot threads to go down. How can I do that? There's different ways. Like you can put a pickup stick below and then flip it to lower that. Or you can do all of the rest of the warps up high. So this isn't going to quite do it. This gives me a plain weave fabric. So what I need to do is I need to push this pickup stick forward. And this pickup stick has all the slot threads that are cotton. So I'm lifting up those cotton slot threads and I'm letting the wool warp threads stay on the bottom. And it's a tiny little shed there, but we got it. So there we go. I am going to pull that through. Once again, be careful not to over tug on that very gentle little selvage. And then we go back to neutral. Now I'm doing the whole threads down. And sometimes I like to think of these in pairs. And so I just did one pair. Now I'm doing a second pair. We're lifting everything up. There we go. And finding that tiny little shed. It's a little itty bitty one, but that's okay. Where there's a shed, there's a way. Oh! Doing that, so that's my second pair. Now I'm bringing this below again. So I am weaving underneath my cotton. So kind of the way I see it is I am weaving underneath my cloth. Oops, nope, that's not going to work. Okay, I'm checking this again. So this is sequence or pair number 3, I think. And then we move this down. Is that it? Yeah, 1, 2, oh yeah, 3. So this is my last pair. And I'm going to go ahead and tighten that up a little bit. I'm a little loose. Now I am moving this and this up. So, perfect. Yeah, there we go. So that is my first sequence. We've woven underneath the fabric. Now I want to bring those same threads and I want to weave them on top. So I'm switching places, and this causes the interweaving and the mesh of those two different fabrics where the fabrics are intertwining, but you're not necessarily weaving them ever together. They're two separate pieces of fabric that are getting woven and intertwined as you weave them. It's kind of a trick. So I actually don't need my needle anymore because I need to have the pickup stick, my pickup needle, pick up all my wool because I'm going to bring those up. So I could just put this over here and put that to the side. I'm going to take my, my wool and I'm going to feed it underneath. Now, underneath the selvage, and once again, we'll just ignore it. And it's going to kind of join its other little thread buddies and just be like another thread that's floating along. But that will take care of that loose end. Now, same sequence, but we're going to do it up. This one starts with my needle. And since my weaving is very, very narrow, I can just pick it up, which is nice. And this one's gonna go kind of fast because we don't have to do all three up. It's just one action for each pass. And we love that. And what you'll see as you're doing this is my second pair right there, is that now you're passing on top of all of these cotton threads. And it becomes, on the back, it's the opposite. So you're going to have all the cotton threads pass over, or here you're going to have all the wool threads pass over, and that's what kind of gives you your interesting design things, I guess. That's what makes Deflected double weave. Uh-oh. Gotta make sure that I have enough stuff going on there. Okay, now we're going to do this. And that was 3, right? 1, 2, 3. And now let's do 3. This is 4. Is that right? Let me pick that one up. And 4. Okay. So is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Yeah, 8 picks through. And now we're going to do the first sequence we did again, where we're bringing the weaving underneath the cloth. So we're going to kind of do that. We're going up and down. So now we're going to bring it down below, which means I don't need this pickup stick anymore. Take that out. Now I have this one all ready to go. It's holding up my cotton threads. And we're going to do the same thing. Before we move though, we have to take this cotton thing and we're going to move it up there. So now it joined its threads over here and it's kind of hiding in there, and now it's going to rest on top again and it'll be ready to go without major floats going all over the place or not having to tie it off or do any of that stuff. It's very easy. Okay, so same thing. We go down. In. Whoa! There we go. Same thing. It's kind of a little tiny shed. Okay, so that's my first pair. Okay. So, one more. And voila! Great, we did it! And I kind of messed it up on the side, but whatever. Okay, so we are going to take that, we're going to put that there, and I'm going to prep up to do my next sequence. First thing I do is roll back. Yay! And that's about a little over an inch. So I've already got an inch of this weaving done. Awesome. Next, I want to get my weaving pickup stick sequence in there. So I'm lowering everything, so that brings my whole threads to the bottom, because we've already programmed our whole threads, right? We can't tell the whole thread to do anything else unless we move the pickup stick in front of the heddles, which is not what we're doing. I already have one stick in. I'm actually, I direct work this, and so I've got some twists in here, so I'm just going to try to, I don't know, kind of get those twists taken care of. So I have this holding up my cotton. What I'm going to need is a sequence with these where the first one's holding up wool, second one cotton, third one wool. And this is the sequence for weaving with my cotton. With the wool, my sequence was cotton, wool, cotton. So I already have this picked up on my cotton, so I don't have to replace it because I'm going to have to reuse it again. So this one, I'm going to go in front of my stick, And see how easy it is with the knitting needle? It just grabs those threads so easily. So I'm going through and basically picking up all of the wool slot threads. Okay, so this one's holding my wool slot threads. This one's holding my wool cotton threads. Then behind it, I need to have another one picking up all my wool threads. And there we go. Oops. So it could be a little tricky to get them. All right. So could I do the same weave but use 3 heddles, right? So I don't have to do pickup sticks. Like, yeah, I think you can do that. But this is not bad. That's it. So now I'm prepped up to do my next sequence of fabric. So I need to move back into neutral, get all my pickup sticks. So my cotton is being controlled by the back heddle, and I'm going to start by weaving below. So moving those threads down, which means that actually I need to bring this under, dive it under that selvage, and then same thing. Don't smash it too much. You want it to lift, you want it to rest just above your previous cut. Now we're bringing all of these up and we're raising up those wool threads. And there we go. There's one sequence. And you'll see that when you do this, you are completely missing all of those side threads, and your new selvage is right there. And up we go again. Yep. And all down. There's 4. I find that cotton doesn't pack down as tightly as the wool, so you kind of have to play with it a little bit. I've got some gaps there. And so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, one more pass, 7, and 8. There we go. So I've got that sequence of 8 picks or 4 sets. And now we take out our pickup needle because we don't need that anymore, because now we're going to be picking up these slot cotton threads. So in order to do that, I need to move my shuttle, dive it through, bring it up on top so I'm not accidentally wrapping around these. And now I will, we have to pick up these slot threads first. There we go. And these ones are a little stickier. So I'm going to shake that, lift that up there, do things like this to try to get them to unwrap. And there we go. So there's 1. And I bring that second needle up. And 2. And just shake it. 3. weaving is starting to really slant. My fell line is starting to go a little crazy. So I'm going to try to straighten that up as I go through here. There we go. So my fell line goes a little nutty. What I try to do is just push down a little bit more on one side, and then over, it's almost like a fan, over several picks I will get the other side to go up to where I want it to go. But if I just do it over 8 different picks, eventually it will all just kind of finally even out, but I won't have any big gaps. Okay, where was I? On that side. So this is 6. 6. All right. And is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now, if I'm really struggling and I cannot get this shed to be clean, another thing you could do is just take another needle or stick behind the heddle and then push it down. And now I have a much cleaner shed that I can go and grab. This is also why I don't tend to use boat shovels. It's because usually when I'm doing these complicated weaves, my sheds are just far too small. So, and then I'm going to do, okay, cool. So now I do my sequence that's up on top. I just have one more sequence before going to switch back to my wool. So I take out this thing right there. I've got these going. Right. Oops. Grabbed a couple extra ones here. Yeah, okay. So now I'm moving this down below. So I know, once again, I don't want to wrap on that selvage, and we are going Heddle 2 down. There's 1. 2. Got a kid wandering around, wondering when I'm gonna make lunch. 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. There we go. Now to leave off, remember we're going to bring this above, just like so. That right there. And now I'm ready to repeat the sequence with my wool,